everyone, welcome back. Another episode of Let's Procreate. As you see here in my gallery, I've started drawing away. Of course, they're not as fancy as some of the other examples here, like this. This is came with the Procreate app. It's just an example of other people's artwork. It's nothing like that, or like this. Very nice, isn't it? Wow. Fortunately, I'm not that advanced to do all this kind of stuff. I personally like kind of landscape or maybe buildings and um, other inanimate objects. This is my gallery here, and I've made a few. This is my first. This is not a tutorial. I'm just sharing my experience with Procreate. This is my first. Most of my images comes from a photo. Let's have a look at the photo of this one. So that's the photo here. Let me move this over here. That's what that looks like. Finally finished this windmill. This was a windmill. I cropped it, resized it. Finally got it done. Let's see here. This was the original right there, and so I just like taking photos. I personally like taking photos. I don't have like a camera anymore because today's age, your smartphone is your camera. Everyone's a photographer these days. So I usually just take photos with my iPad Air. That's what I have. I originally bought an iPad, and I bought a pencil, and I was gonna the iPad and the pencil was for the whole family to use, more for my oldest daughter, since she's an art student in high school. She wants to major in art. She ended up never using it, but I ended up buying an iPad Air, one step above an iPad, and mainly because it has a headphone jack, which I'm using now. So when I'm tapping on the screen with the pencil, you don't hear it. So my previous episode, I think I was working on this. So let's see what I did. What I love about the Procreate app is that you can go over the time lapse of what you've done. So let's have a look at it real quick. And yes, I do trace, but these are my photos, so I can totally do that because that's what I do. That's my preference. You can call it, it's similar to like photorealism, but I don't make the photos real. I don't draw them out real. Here I'm just experimenting with the Procreate app. I just love the circles and the shapes and everything about this. And here I'm trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out some color to it because it looked pretty bland. It's amazing what happens when you first start out and what you end up with. And I found that it was a mental challenge. Drawing is a mental challenge. Starting from nothing and ending up with something, or starting with something and transforming it into something else. That's the challenge for me. It's not how realistic it is, or maybe even how cool it is. Although my youngest daughter thinks this thing I created here is very cool. She's amazed. So again, and then again, she's only like 6. So, but this, it's not what I had in mind. But I just go with it, just work with it. Uh, One of the other things um, that I'm trying to do is I find it therapeutic to I guess draw or do digital artwork, mainly because it's very easy. I could take my iPad Air everywhere with me. I could take a picture. Um, the pencil is I'm impressed with the pencil. Um, Let me see here. Let's go look at something else. And here's something else I'm working on here. Let's see here. This is a new one, and this is a combination. Let me just hide this here, and let's see. Just so you could see the airbrush that I use. I'm doing this in a landscape format for the purpose of making a video. There we go. Okay. So in this, it's not a tutorial, but I'm just sharing what I've done, and in hopes that maybe you enjoyed the vlogging portion. I'm experimenting with Procreate. Originally, it was a purchase that my daughter wanted because she heard everybody else using Procreate, but she never ended up using it. So I figured, I did like drawing. Maybe she gets her desire to be an artist from me, because I at one point wanted to be an artist. Now I'm just a regular person who no longer works and doesn't want to return to work, to be honest with you. And I'm just doing whatever I want. I guess in some ways I am an artist. I'm a starving artist. So let me see here. Is it canvas? I think it's okay. So in the canvas section, you have this drawing guide, and then edit drawing guide, and then you can see the lines by moving this to the left. You get black, and to the right you get white, and then you get all sorts of colors in between. So let's see if I can make it so it can be seen. Black on a white background seems to work really well. I can make it red. Let's just make it black. So that's how you get the colors. There's this color bar up on top, which you can move around, and then there's different things. There's 2D grid, isometric, perspective, and symmetry. What makes it interesting to work with is if you put assisted drawing, you could change the grid size and everything, and thickness. And let me see if I can make it a little bit. No, I'll just leave it like, well, let's change the grid size, make it a little bit bigger. And then of course you can rotate it. I think you can rotate, yeah, you can rotate it and do whatever. Does it snap? I might have to use my other hand to snap it. I think if you touch it with your other hand, nope, nope. And this one's also set to there. Anyways, I'm not going to use the grid here. Let me see. Does it? Let me see if I cancel out. Does it reset itself? Oh. Does it reset itself? Yeah, it does reset itself. I guess it resets itself the last thing you use it. So there. Let me just go back into this and have the lines go black and just say done. And if you have the drawing assist on, let me see. I forgot to assisted drawing right here. See, I'm clicking on it or using the pencil. it will just do straight lines for you. Oh, where I'm on erase. Okay, I don't want to be on erase. Let's use ink, gel pen. Let me see what size. That's a good size. I'm on blue. Sure, why not? Let's just use blue. Look at that. I can make it nice. I'm kind of freehanding it, and of course, if you push down, you can always do a straight line. But you know, but this is freehanding, and it's actually goes straight anyway. It doesn't have to be on that line. You can just do it anywhere, and you could just draw straight lines. This is an assist drawing, and of course, if you draw a line and you just hold it, you can actually make any line, any angle, and then you can actually edit the shape. You can actually change it around. You can use the grid. I don't know if it snaps onto the grid. It doesn't feel like it snaps on to the grid. But that's pretty much assisted drawing. I'm just showing an example. That's all I'm doing here. I can just clear that. So that's the wrench. Let's go back into drawing. They have different ones. Isometric, it does the same thing. Perspective, it's kind of interesting. You move the, I guess I gotta play with it more, but perspective is kind of different. Again, you put assisted drawing on it, and then I guess where's that circle? The circle's around here somewhere. So I guess for some reason, if you have a perspective view, so I haven't quite figured out how to use this function yet. So maybe an action drawing or something, whatever. Not really sure what to do with this yet here. But let's go back to the wrench and edit the drawing guide. Of course, this is all highly dependent on assisted drawing. Now, am I cheating because I use assisted drawing? Maybe. I'm a cheater. After all, I do trace over photos. So here's another one which is kind of interesting. It's the Symmetry, and let's see if I can get a better color out of this so you can see the symmetry here. Let's go back to black. I'm going to leave it in the middle, and I'm not going to rotate it, but you can. So again, assisted drawing, and you could actually rotational symmetry or regular symmetry. Let's do just regular symmetry. Let's see what happens here. Done. All right, this is just a regular, and let's change the color here. Let's do black. Look at that. You can do some interesting shapes. Let me see, did I, oh. Let me see, was that, okay, that was just regular symmetry. Okay. And let's change it to rotational. Let's see what happens if I do that. I just want to clear. Let's clear that. And show. You can have fun with this. I'm just using the ink function, but let's see, what was I using? I was using the, was the paint, and then you could just go crazy with the color. I mean, I was having real fun with this. Matter of fact, you can even do polygon. Let's pick a different color. Sure, why not? And then and you hold down on it. I'm cheating because I'm using the software to make perfect polygon lines here. Yeah, and you can have some really fun with this and make interesting little drawings here. They don't always have to be like pictures of faces and things, although most people use it for that purpose. Again, I'm just sharing here my experience. Let's clear that, and okay, and that's what I made so far. Not bad for my first time. So you can make some interesting things. It was fun. What what I got out of this drawing, this particular one, was that it was therapeutic. I mean, it made me think. I had to think about drawing and all that. I had to think about uh, being, I guess, quote unquote, creative. Um, just doing things on the fly, no plan, um, nothing fancy or anything, just having fun, going with it. And I find it to be a mental exercise, especially as you get older. So, and especially if you don't work, you don't have those challenges or stresses anymore. You get to do things that you want to do. Anyways, I have some links in the notes section on the iPad Air. If you're interested in vlogging, I would recommend getting one with the headphones so you could talk into it, and that way you don't make any noises when you tap on the screen because you'll hear the rustling and everything. I also use, let me just get out of here, get out of my gallery. I also use this screen recorder here, and you see it has a microphone on, which I'm using the headphone mic. So 18 minutes. I think I've gone too long. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye.